All right. What's going on? What's going on? The content for you guys this week's been top tier. Well, what if I told you you're about to get 2.5 hours more in like a couple hours, hour or two? We've been rolling a lot of shit. Low mic? It shouldn't be. Should not be. I could raise it. Is this better? So much to catch up on. Like what? You're behind in the content. That's the thing about our content. It doesn't have a lot of continuity. You could just kind of pop in when you want. So yeah, America and I watched episodes 4 through 6. That's being uploaded. The audio is way better. It's like listenable. You could hear us and the audio. So don't worry, we fixed that. Very simple solution too. Your hair looks nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is great. I mean, I'm. This stream's gonna be good. I intend to have an itemized list of who I want to follow going into BB26. Let's discuss the book club pick because I have questions. Yeah, if you don't know, America picked like a horror novel for book club, and she hates horror movies. She goes, "They're just words. They can't hurt me." I think she's not going to be able to get through it. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. How did America fix the audio in the last rewatch? Oh my god! So that first one, I was just gonna upload as is, and it was horrible. And then America went and like re-recorded the episodes on a phone, just the episodes, and then tried to sync that up with our commentary, and then tried to like when we paused, she would have to pause the. It was a nightmare, and she did a pretty good job. But the ones here sound a lot better because she doesn't have to do all that. It's more creepy than it is scary. We're used to creepy. 7 through 9 tomorrow. We're gonna watch them today. Probably upload tomorrow. We're trying to get through it quickly. There's a lot of episodes. What about the book you picked? Yeah, there was a. Did she post it? It's called like Tamed or something. It's about this like blue alien with horns who's married to this woman and then like gets in an affair with their sister. It's smut? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Chrissa. For the 2 months, 2 meses. Gracias. Everyone tells me it's actually so good. Cool. Some JPR. Thanks for the gift. Smut is a good thing. I thought smut was a great thing until I was involved. Till I became the smut. Now I feel slightly different. So that'll be a fun stream. The me and Cameron, because we're friends now after the cruise. We're gonna popcorn read the fan fiction. This is the kind of thing that like there's gonna be like a really big movie that comes out in a couple years starring like Nicholas Galitzine and Barry Cohen, whatever his name is. And it's gonna be like, where's this from? Is this a book? And they're gonna be like, no, it's loosely based on a Big Brother 25 fan fiction. Do we think he knows about the fan fiction? I'm not entirely convinced he didn't write it. I don't know if the timeline makes sense, but too many of the details were accurate. That's how I knew something was up. Just one too many. He knew too many specifics. Get Cameron on for real pod to talk about Colleen Hoover. I would love to have him on the podcast. I think I would not softball. Like we would. It would be rough. But no, obviously not. It would be crazy though. Okay, but no Colleen Hoover. I guess. I saw they're making that Colleen Hoover movie, and isn't the plot like there's this girl who's with this guy who's like beating her, but they still love each other? Am I totally off base? I feel like it's something like this. It's like a very strange plot that I don't quite get. Typical Colleen Hoover book plot, yeah. Typical Colleen Garrity. Kelly, thanks for the sub. Okay, let's get into this because I'm not trying to stream too long because I gotta watch 7 hours of Big Brother 25 today. So let's and do a little bit of this. So here's the names I have down as people I want to talk about, and I want you guys to help me add to it. Okay? Why 7 hours? I exaggerate sometimes. Sorry. Here's the list I got. Can I like get this shit out of here? Derek F immediately. He almost inspired this stream. So we've got Derek, Rachel Riley, A-Dog, Tiffany Mitchell, Janelle Turner, Josh Martinez, Joseph, Taylor Hale, Danielle Reyes, Evil Dick, Andy. Matt Hoffman, good one. Right here. Head of Hofhold, right? Does Keisha have a good Twitter? I've never seen it. Michael does have one. But I want the best ones, you know? Some provocative shit. Dan's Twitter probably looks like mine. Cat Dunn, sure. You guys like Claire, okay. Danielle, trust me, I've got Danielle. Kelly, thanks for the gift for Hey Bub. Very sweet. Does June tweet that much? Chada. I like that. Alright, let's start here. I don't know if I spelled that right. Let's start here and then go from there. Izzy? Sure. That's alright. Let's start from here. So, does anyone have a suggestion of where to start? Because I think Derek F is a bit strong, and I think you're right. We should start there. All right. So, the way I want to do this is let's search up Derek F. Right. Let's look at him, and the first thing I want to see is BB25. Let's just see. Derek Frazier. All right, let's see it. Here's the thing about Derek F. I can tell you what, he's either going to be S tier or he will be F tier, and there is no middle ground. The founder of the Cookout, that's right. Let's go into it. Okay. Pretty basic stuff, Heisem and I still gotta watch these Heisem lives. Let's get a little bit more specific. Let's have a Cory involved, and then get rid of the BB25. I gotta see what he says. All right, a lot of tweets. Okay. This man is breathing. He's putting down a woman. Not at all. Did you miss all my tweets? Nasty tweets about Cory or Luke or Jag. This is a super interesting argument. Zoom in a little bit? Sure. This is kind of based. Someone said, you're putting down a woman? He's like, nah, I put down men too. In the same conversation as Luke. Me, Luke, and Jag. Why did he not like you? You know, he could have his reasons. Okay. Alright, who has the tea? Who has the tea? Come on, I know you guys keep receipts. Come on. Someone hook me up. I know you guys know. Zach has the tea. No idea. All right. Well, this is logging out a whole week until next Thursday's HOH after Bowie wins. Bowie Jane's not going after Cory in America. I think Cameron will talk her into Blue and Felicia or Blue and Suri. Cameron's not talking her into shit. Okay, let's go. You're seriously one racist piece of shit. I don't think he's racist. I literally made it clear. I don't care for Cory America or Bowie Jane. I like everyone else, but you're making it a race thing. It's sad that I can't have an opinion on players because I'm black. Yeah, I don't think it's a race thing. I think he just doesn't like me, and I want to dive deeper. Cory's playing a great game. He was able to... whoa. What is this one? Cory's playing a great game. He was able to get the house to flip, make a whole new alliance. Kudos to him. Also, I want to give America credit. She dished out information in order for things to go her way. She's a great player, too. Wait a second. Who... Did the little brother pick up the controller? Like... Ooh, a power ranking. Let's do it. For the end of this week is August 24th. Suri, Mimi, Hisam. This is kind of based. Matt, interesting. I guess it's pretty early still. Felicia, Blue, and Jared. I'm surprised he has Jared this low. Didn't he say like Jared was his protege? America, Cory. Izzy this low is crazy. What? This is fucked up. Oh, my final rankings. Let's see how things changed. Okay. Hisam is number 1. Based. Suri. Based. Felicia. Based. Mimi. That's fine. I like Mimi. Jared. It seems high for Jared, but this is fine. He likes Jared. Matt this high at the end of the game is asinine. He said this on November 9th. Blue. Okay. Blue, look, you like or hate Blue. This is fine. Riley, this is not a person, but I get what he's saying. Izzy. I cannot understand why he has Izzy so low. That's crazy. Kirsten. America. Red. I like how she designates there's a tier break between Red and Cameron. Like, it's that different. He's like, he feels so much differently about Red than he does Cam. Remind me where you ranked, Matt? This is a different conversation, Chiara. It's Cameron, Jag, me, Bowie, and then tier break, Luke. So far, his Twitter account is hitting. I'm going to be honest. So this is the same day he's deleting tweets, so I think this might be a little bit facetious. You want to see Turner's ranking? Hisam, Suri, America, Izzy, Felicia, Blue, Cory. Y'all, this is boring. This is too basic. Very high on Cam, that's what I'll say. I need Mimi's gesture towards Cory on a loop. They're so upset because I don't care for the Gen Z gang of America, Cory, and Bowie. That's kind of funny. Alright, not a big fan of mine. Any recent tweets that are good? Did he retweet this? He retweeted the Big D at 23 of the runner-ups ranking. Oh, this is the ordering of the seasons. I think look. Who let me cook? Let's look at this list. Is there anyone I would put lower than Big D? Definitely not Nicole, not Danielle, not Allison. Cowboy, probably not. Not Yvette, not Erica, not Danny, not Ryan, not Memphis. Natalie, maybe? Gina Marie. He's better than Gina Marie. I'll give him that. Yeah, I would put him probably 23. 23 or 24. He's better than Gina Marie, and he's better than maybe Natalie. so let's do this. So Derek Frazier, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say let's do tiers. So I think Derek F is probably F tier. I think it's the worst Twitter account, and I love it. I'm a big fan. I like the asking to go on shows. Those are my favorite tweets. I don't even mean that like sarcastically. I think those are good tweets. All right, let's go to Rachel. All right, Rachel, what are we doing? Okay, so I'm retweeting some Mike Bloom. That's good. She likes Applebee's. Rooting for Spicy V. Oh, wait, she's talking about me? Derek F said some messed up stuff about America, Cory. Yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan, Sora. Okay. I mean, like, Rachel seems okay. Seems very inoffensive. See if she had anything to say about BB25. What's her account? Rachel E. Riley. On Thursdays, we watch Suri. Pick me up from my girl Suri. Just put it out there, Suri's a legend. To the haters. Rock, paper, scissors for 70-50K. I hate them. Suri's flawless. Is it possible for Matt to take a shot at Jag during the double? LOL. Suri. This is pretty fine. She's a big Suri fan. Big Suri fan, you know? I would say it is a B tier. Yeah, it's okay. There's not too much to say. A-Dog will skip for now. Let's look at Tiff. Let's see what Tiffany's been cooking. Okay, so I'm reposting about her season for sure. Let's make the jump to BB25.
Boy Cory on television at 21, and so when I see this young boy Cory on television at 21, and he's he's trying his best to be respectful to care, and nobody has to agree with this. I watched it. That's my perception of it. Is he was like, I got boundaries. Hand holding is as far as I'm gonna go. I don't want to do all of that. He's got his family watching. His brother did TV. He's there to play a game. He's not trying to do that. And I see this young girl keep pressing. I'm not gonna lie, I was disgusted, because I think if that
It doesn't count if he's in your alliance. That's the truth. It doesn't count if he was in your alliance. And I've been saying that. She's right. She's right. If it's in your alliance, it doesn't count. Everyone knows that. Okay? She did nothing to deserve this punishment. She guessed 600. She guessed 600. It was... They tell us, okay, the max prize Jack can get is $5,000. He gets $500 every 15 seconds. The math of that is, if he hangs on for 300 seconds, he gets all the money. Suri said he's gonna do double. He's gonna do double the maximum time. He's gonna dead hang for 10 minutes after a 2-hour endurance comp. Exit interviews. He talking about her damn dress. If you're Cameron, do you play or pass? Oh, this is Zombie Week. Okay. I mean, look, this is a definitive F, right? But it's okay. She did apologize after the fact. Janelle Pierzina. For some reason, BB Twitter has turned its back on Suri. Don't be fickle. She's one of the greatest of all time. They didn't really, though, right? Guys, you guys were there. I wasn't there. Did she really, though? Like, maybe some people did, but, like, not really. Like, I remember when the house flip was happening, and I looked back at the Twitter, like, there was so much Suri support still. It's been 3 years, so I finally want to address the pre-gaming regarding BB22. It's sad to see Cody and Derek drag for pre-gaming when it wasn't them. I've been silent for too long because I've been protecting this person. The person responsible for pre-gaming is Danielle Donato. I once considered... I missed this. I once considered her a friend, which I know is foolish. She called me to pregame. She asked me if I knew anyone doing the show, and I said no, I didn't, because the only person I talked to was Rachel. She then proceeded to ask me who I wanted to go after. I never really gave names, but I know that everything I said, she immediately told Fredzel. I love Danielle Donato. I told her that no matter what... Like, I love it's been 3 years, so I want to address... Like, why address it now, though? This is fire. Pack your bags, Jag. Fire. Bowie Jane wins HOH. This is a good gif. Bring old school. Janelle's a big proponent of, like, I want old school BB back. I feel bad for Suri. Why the hell would you make the Invisible Age a physical comp? Oh, based. People hating on Suri. Just want to appear edgy. I don't think there's that many people. Bowie's going to make it to the end. That's right. Cam 1 AFP, one of my favorites this season. Look, no one's perfect. Hey, no one's perfect. I be stretching, setting, preparing for comps. Girl, you got... Okay. This is kind of stupid. Like, what is she supposed to do? Do calisthenics? Like, yoga? Studying, sure. Yeah, you could be studying, but, America had her stuff pretty good. Very high variance, yes. Very turbulent. Suri is set up so good. Nope. Such a great villain. It's so weird. Like, you have to be talented to be the villain as an underdog. Congrats to Jag. Suri or America for AFP. Not even making the poll. And Cam's not making the polls interesting. Yeah, it just gives casual, but, I'm so glad the truth is finally out. Blame Danielle. That's all I have to say on this matter. I call me crazy. I'm gonna say A. I like it. Sorry. And you guys might say, oh, it's just because you're gonna be next to each other on the cruise. The Danielle thread killed me. That was... I don't think we're gonna see many better tweets than that. At least she didn't hate you. Oh yeah, I don't think so. Alright, let's talk about what I think is arguably the worst Twitter account, not just in Big Brother, but to ever exist, Turner. We're locked in. I sent that text before opening yours. Never mind, we are not locked in. Footage of Cameron. It's always two dumb bitches telling each other exactly. Hey, downtown Durston, I know you have a small dick, humiliation fetish, predator vibes, trouble getting any women to love you. This is perfect, take a look. Should I cook up a Daniel hate tweet? Serial killer allegations. This is crazy. It's an S tier Twitter account. It is. No one does it like Turner. People could try to copy him, and they will fail. Stolen tweets equals S now. Okay, America had to explain this to me. That's part of the. It's like that's part of it. That's part of the joke. He's in on it. Turner's S. It's not debatable. Let's look at Josh Martinez. I assume he has a lot of challenge tweets. Let's look at BB25. Bowie deserves to lose this season. This is how you should act when you win the show. Does Blue ever snap out of character? I think he's a hater, which is pretty good. I like haters. Bro, I'm sick of this shit. Really not a fan of Cory. Y'all can hate me for it. Mom, what the fuck? Why? The period. The period moves mountains. Good thing is you guys can't see the tweets. Ooh, account I muted. Let's see it. Okay. A smug, under the radar political game, hiding behind big shields and sniping them when he can. Kind of like your game. Damn. Am I like Josh Martinez? Interesting. Any specific reasons? Thanks, DD, having my back. Thanks, Big D. This fucking guy. He's in the replies. Okay. That's good. This season would always be remembered as Suri's season. Making top 5 is a huge accomplishment. I think Big Brother 25 will mostly be remembered for, like, basically week 6. Like, and I don't mean just, like, in terms of the flip, but I think it'll be remembered as, like, the Suri, Jared, Izzy, and then, like, the Me, America, Jag on the other side, and then Cameron. Like, that'll be, like, how people remember it. It's not going to be about Jag dominating the end game or professors versus family style. I think it's, like, that part of the game. But I think Suri, yeah, I think for the most part, people, yeah. When you look at, like, the confessional accounts, I think Suri and Jag are top 2, and Suri, like, you know. I think it sounds about right. Hand matter, Jag to win. Suri gameplay is top tier. Cam has been such an entertaining player. It is interesting. I wonder when he was chosen for Reindeer Games. Jag beat them to it. Good move. Can't wait to see Cory go. I kind of like... It's kind of surprising that Josh... I don't know if he's a casual or if he was watching the feeds, but he was a live feeder before, right? I think he was a feeder before he won. At least was a huge fan. He wasn't. He was just a big fan. Yeah, there was a lot of funny moments, but I think it's like a C. I think it's, I'll say C. Like, it's not that bad, but it's just a little boring. All right, Joseph. I'd like to pluck those strings. Did you see you're in the BB25 veto, me in the veto? That's a good tweet.
You just said something, breaking news. What needs to happen? I think Big D needs more TV time. Thank you so much, Soso. The people.
Come on. How does he do it? He pops up on everyone's search. Change that back. He just pops up everywhere, you know? Okay. Suri hit the get me the fuck out of here. She was not happy to do that. Tuned in for the first live eviction, saw the block and tuned right out. Ain't no way they have AI and they tried heisting like this. Let's hear it. Who's winning? All right, very low key. What about his just normal tweets? What's he tweeting these days? A lot of pro-Palestine stuff. Okay. Now the problem is, do I have to put a mess now? Because he's actually tweeting good stuff. But then he's in the same tier as Big D and Turner, which that doesn't seem right. I feel weird, like, just, like, skipping, like, ooh, Palestine tweet, like, looking for Big D. It's like, what am I doing? What is this exercise? Alright, I'd say B. You know, he doesn't tweet that much about Big Brother. Alright, I know Taylor tweets. Let's find some stuff. All right, Taylor. Can we talk our shit for a minute? 50% BIPOC won't do anything. I don't think anyone was arguing this. It was just racist people saying this is bad. And they said they thought it was bad because it would do something, right? Taylor was a Suri truther? Not based. Is this Q&A a little awkward, or is it just me? Yeah, it was a little awkward. Congrats, Jag. I'm on the edge of my seat for the Bowie Jane lawyer reveal. The oh no about the multiverse announcement. Okay, a lot of November 9th tweets. Can we get to another fucking day? It is just the finale. Definitely like a reality TV tweeter. By date, hashtag, and account. It's like we could try that. It's a bit of a fucking process though. Like I have to go like advanced search. Like I go from this account and then do like what? August 2nd, 2023 to November. I'll do 8th, 2023. Like this is how you do it. They're such teases. A year ago today I woke up. Could be fun. I'll probably a lot of reindeer game stuff, right? Overnight bag. They gave me heads up. All right, look, Taylor. I think it's an A. She tweets. You know, this is an interesting one to me. Danielle Reyes. This is a very interesting one to me. The hashtag would further dilute things, y'all. The hashtag would mean it has to have all the stuff and the hashtag. All right, Danielle Reyes. What I love about Danielle Reyes' Twitter is she tweets a lot about Big Brother 3 as if it happened yesterday, which is kind of funny to me. I like it. Like, Lisa and I had different journeys. Hard pass. The only player I would have beaten was Marcellus. I'm loyal to a fault. Erica would still be hanging up there talking about her seasons. I kind of like it, you know? I kind of enjoy it. Like, it's just all, you know, it's all this. All the time. She's you in 20 years? Honestly. I'll still be going back and forth to people on Twitter. I'll say B. I think it's fine. So sick and tired of the BB3 discourse on Twitter. It's getting out of hand. Alright, this is what I'm excited about. Because I have not seen one of his tweets because I think he's like shadow banned on Twitter. Alright, let's... It's kind of funny. He has all of us blocked. He just tweeted about you? Yeah? What do you say about me? Is his stuff dangerous? Am I gonna get is there worse stuff? Yeah. America going out right after Felicia so disappointing as Cory will be in bed. He does have stuff that can get you banned. Alright, we'll stop it here then. It's F. I think of the people on this list, he's the only person I can confidently say is a very bad person. He's the only one who I legitimately feel like is a net negative on society. But that's why when people are like Jag is the worst winner, I'm like, as if you hate Jag more than anyone else, you can argue he's the second worst winner. Okay? That's the way I see it. If you hate Jag, hate him. You still have to hate him less than Evil Dick. I liked Evil Dick, sue me. If you were a casual watching the show, it's impossible not to like Evil Dick. Anyways, what is it Head of Hoffhold or something? What is Matt Hoffman's? Oh, yeah. Matt Hoffman Moonves. Yes. He's tweeting about MILF Manor. I like that. This is crazy. The 5700 is so funny. BB Extra. We gotta rank them too. Are they still doing stuff? Or have they chilled out? BB Extra. Bowie Jane will be trekking down the Zodiac Killer postseason. What's the record? 97 days that ever being nominated? Eh. It's drama. The Turner Mr. Beast drama is so funny. I mean, I think Matt's Twitter is good. I'll say A. Now this is a very controversial Twitter account. Andy Heron. Andy. The good thing about Andy is quantity. There's a lot of tweets. Let's see what he has to say about BB25. 100K followers? Look at you, Andy. I wonder how many of his followers are from, like, not people who just followed him from a season. I know I said I'd stop hating her as of last night, but I woke up today and thought about this clip, and I am just not ready to give up on the hatred yet. This is my journey, and I'll stop when I'm ready. Me watching Matt get evicted tonight? Yeah. All right. There are two types of third-place finishers. Please, for the love of God, be Vanessa. Yeah, I don't know. I like Bowie, but as casting, yeah, probably. The stars this season. If you intend to play with honor and are cool with losing to a friend because you were loyal, please don't fucking apply. You're a waste of a spot. He's very much the voice of the people. He's losing to Cameron fitting end of the season. Jesus fucking Christ. He's very much just like one of us, right? Like a lot of fucking tweets, and then a lot of Andy Jr. Lot of Andy Jr. I think he's an S tier Twitter account. I think it's hard to argue much else. Just consistent fire from Andy. I don't know what to say. All right, what's Keisha's account? Someone help me out. It's Keisha. There's a guy who looks like a jacked version of you. It's impossible. She hardly tweets. Why do you guys want me to look at fucking Keisha's Twitter account then? Have you written Justin Civic yet? No, we're getting to it. She's not posted in a long time. Yeah, no, I'm getting that impression. Michael. I mean, Michael. I really enjoy Michael's Twitter because Michael like legit just tweets like a Big Brother fan. Look at Cliff Hogg. Oh, I know Cliff Hogg. I watch Cliff Notes and everything. Yeah, Michael's just a fucking reality TV nerd. Michael is just, you know. Michael's just a nerd. Also, can we get some of this fucking revisionist history about Cliff out of the way? Cliff was a good player. I saw some people saying Cliff was bad. Cliff was good. He flipped the whole power structure. Y'all are haters. He was a very good player. He was probably the best or second best player that season. I think it was him or Tommy. Cat Kat's interesting because what was Kat's experience with the show before going on? Has she ever watched? She was a recruit, I think, right? And then she just got really into it. Kat was recruited in New Holly. It's interesting. It's a good tweet. And Izzy. Who is Rick? Nah, she's in the trenches with us. She's not S tier because S tier is reserved for the unhinged Twitter accounts, but it's A tier. Claire. I already know Claire. You guys know Claire. Claire's a basic, normal human being Twitter account. She's great. It's A. June. I like June a lot. She talks mad shit. And she doesn't give a shit about trashing production, which I think is funny. Because she's not going to be asked back for several reasons. Yeah, I mean, Michael, I'll say it's B, sure. Claire is B. Chada's Twitter account's normal, and then Izzy is Izzy. When is Americory going to be on the Cat podcast? If she asks us, we'll do it. You know, I think we were asked, and they had to go through CBS and just fizzled out, I guess. All right, now there's one more thing I wanted to do for this season. This stream. Because I wanted to catch up on some of the Big Brother 25 content that I wasn't able to watch. That's what I'm gonna do. So, let me do a little bit of this. I want to watch people's exit interviews. What about A-Dog? A-Dog's S tier, come on. Obviously A-Dog's S tier. What are we doing? Alright, I want to watch some of the... Not this one. Wrong screen! I want to watch these exit interviews. I'm curious. Because these are recorded like the day after. Only the pre-jury ones. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably be bored. Chess stream when? At some point. Alright, let's see what Riley's got to say.
From RHAP. Nice to get the chance to chat with you for a little bit here today. Have you had a chance to watch the show since you've now been out of the house, and what were your impressions?
Oh yeah, once my plane landed, I turned the TV on. I'm a curious girl. I'm definitely super sad. You know, I'm very competitive, especially with myself. So I really wanted to make it as far as I could.
The Riley thing is weird because it's so quiet. Okay, I'll just do it.
It's a bummer for sure, but I could not be happier to have had the experience. I'm super grateful that I got to play Big Brother.
How are you feeling post Riley?
I am feeling like my friends need to kick some butt.
So, what do you think about the plan?
Yeah, it's probably pretty interesting her going on this podcast after I told her about it. I'm sure she didn't remember. The weird thing about Riley is, like, so she claims to have come out of the house and, like, been glued to the feeds. But that begs a lot of questions.
plan to put Heisem on the block this week?
I think that if I were still in the house, that's what my plan was going to be. So I'm hoping that the house can make some big moves and get the job done. I'm rooting for him.
Did you see just how close it came to you? I mean, obviously you knew in the moment, but like it was really back and forth for a while. And I mean, at one point, it
My gut tells me she was not glued to the feeds.
just like Cameron gave Suri a look, and she was like, "Oh, maybe we need."
Like, here's the thing. Like, I think a lot of Big Brother people, like, they plan on watching the feeds when they, like, you have to be a specific type of person to be able to watch the Big Brother live feeds. I don't think I'm even that capable of doing it. Like, I could, but, like, you're either a live feed person or you're not. I think it's kind of hard to become one. You know what I mean?
To change again.
Yeah, oh man, I was fighting like crazy. I was fighting up until the last minute.
What does that mean?
It really is a bummer because I think that we were so close. And just to see it all kind of turn around at the end was a super bummer for me and my.
It was pretty close.
But I mean, it is a game, so I can't take it too personally. They had to do what they had to do, so it's okay.
Riley, can you talk a little bit about
she was
your
fighting. Riley was trying really hard. It just didn't.
Interactions with Matt in the house, and that he, was very upset to see you go, so that you were a big part of helping him in the house. So can you talk a little bit about the relationship that you had with Matt in the game?
Why didn't you save Queen Riley? If Riley took my advice, she would have been saved. She would have been safe. I feel like I gave her all the tools to save herself. But, like, part of why they wanted Riley gone was her relationship with me. She's like, we need to get rid of Riley so we can work with Cory. So, like, I feel like if I advocated more for her, it would have just sunk her even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt and I were extremely close. When you're in that house, you get to learn about people and get to bond with them double time, even triple time. It's crazy. 2 weeks felt like 2 years, especially with Matt and I. We were together 24/7. So, and with his hearing, it's definitely really difficult for him to communicate in the house, especially because of all the big group conversations. So, I wanted to do whatever I could to make sure.
Yeah. So America and I watched the rat segment for the first time yesterday. They edit it in a very charitable way to Matt. It makes it seem very mutual.
That he was getting all the information he needed and he felt included and welcome. And I really care about him. I miss him like crazy. It was hard watching last night's episode for sure.
Is there anybody who you've changed your opinion on, or maybe have been surprised by from information you found out now that you're out of the house?
Her answer has to be Cameron, right? Maybe she's surprised that, like, me and America are playing the middle. Suri and Jared, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's interesting watching the show and the live feeds to see what conversations were happening while I was in the other room. So I was absolutely shocked at Jared and Suri's.
I'm not talking about, like, the Cameron, like, weird stuff. I'm talking about, like, Cameron ratting out family style. I guess she knew that in the house.
Relationship like that. I think that was a huge part of my demise, but but it's a game, so I can't be too sad. But yeah, I think that Jared and Suri are having they're killing it. They're playing a really good game, and they totally.
She's being very graceful here.
Besides Jared and Suri, is there anything else that you've been really surprised to learn since you've been out of the house?
I wouldn't say surprised. I think maybe the Cory and America situation. They're kind of playing both sides too, and I really thought they were on my side of the house for sure. So that was kind of a surprise to me, but
I mean, America really was. Like, America was not playing both sides at this point. Maybe by the end of week 2, but, like, America kept trying to bring back family style and family reunion and stuff. And she wanted Riley to stay, but she wasn't going to stick her neck out, obviously. But, she starts playing the middle more and more. Or tries to.
It does all make sense watching back now.
Yeah, I do think that, like, they would have preferred for you to stay, and Cory was certainly trying to give some advice about, like, they're worried about your group if you could separate. But yeah, they were ultimately I think they were just concerned that you had so many people, you had so many people loyal to you. Did you think that you'd be able to go in there and be able to like build a crew like that with people who were so loyal?
I was terrified to go in there. I thought I was going to be a lone wolf the whole time. I cannot even thank Big Brother enough for, just game aside, like, just giving me the best friends I could ever imagine having. Like, I know we're going to be friends forever after this, but, like, even in the game...
You have to understand to a certain extent, like, Taryn and I are going to agree because we view the game similarly, but also, I I learned most of what I know about the season from Taryn. Like, and I was there, and I remember what I did. But as time goes on, I start to learn about Big Brother 25 not from a first-person perspective, which is why I wanted to do my deep dive so early, so I would have like documented what I thought right after the show before absorbing a ton of information. It's a giant feedback loop, yeah. Kind of.
You know, I was definitely
He was such a Matt fanboy. Look, I've listened to all the updates. He is extremely high on Matt's game. I think arguably too high. He's also not high on Matt as a person, and this is not private conversations. This is him on the like. I think Taryn is fair. Like, I don't think that's a fair interpretation of Taryn. Like, he was shitting on all the Andrew Tate stuff, the misogynistic bullshit. Like, if it's just like you guys think he overestimates Matt's game, fair enough, right?
emotional and had a rough start, and they were there to support me and pick me up.
Riley can go far if she comes back on her attorney season. She could. I mean, she could have gone far this season if she just got better HOH outcomes. Like, Riley's the type of person who is gonna always have friends, and those friends are probably gonna be strong, and that might do enough for her. But I struggle to see her, like, maneuvering well throughout the house and, like, making moves. And I don't think she's a very good player, right?
Up and help fight for me, and I couldn't be happier with the people.
I'm sure she'd be better on her return.
Okay, well, Riley,
But I'd also be down to see her. I think she was a fun presence in the house.
it was nice to chat with you. I know you have to.
Okay, let's go to Heisem. I already checked. Kirsten doesn't have one with RHAP. This is one of the most I'm most excited about. Because I assume they have to ask me. Put her on the challenge? Yeah, probably. Better shot.
How are you? It's Rob and Taryn from RHAP. Tyson, I was so sad to see you go on Thursday because
Me too.
you
I would absolutely want Kirsten back. And I will say, like, having watched all of week 1 from the episodes, damn, what was going on in Kirsten's head? Like, what blows my mind is that, okay, she got in a bad spot early, which is understandable. She panicked a little bit. She was kind of screwed by a twist. That's all fair. But, like, she kept thinking she was safe somehow. Like, she thought she wouldn't be nominated, even though Riley never told her that. And then she thought Heisem was using the veto on her. And then she thought she was staying. Like, didn't Kirsten find Luke attractive? Kind of insane. Well, I think people, like, Luke's an attractive guy. I don't think that's crazy. Also, I want to talk about this for a second. So, I watched week 1, and they showed the Luke N-word, clip in the discussion. They showed more than I thought with the me and Heisem and Jared stuff. Why did they show, like, that conversation between Luke and Kirsten? Where, like, Luke is basically, like, being very charitable to Kirsten and understanding, and... Because as far as I understand, Kirsten, like, said Luke was being horribly mean in that conversation, and Luke was basically saying that, too. It was like a conversation. It was Luke and Kirsten in the game room. So, like, was it to make Luke look more ignorant than racist? And look, by the way, about Heisem not hearing it, I fully believe he didn't hear it. Because Heisem was talking very highly of Luke from that point until he was ejected. Heisem does not fuck with that, which is his quote from the house. Like, it was a big misunderstanding on that part of it. I don't think his reaction was fair, but he didn't hear it. I fully believe Heisem, 1,000,000%. To soften his image before chopping him, yeah, I was like, that was a weird choice to me. Anyways.
You were such a favorite of mine. I just, we were wondering, how would you have fared in the pressure cooker? I'm sure you saw how it played out.
I would have won, without a question. It was something I was actually preparing for. I had actually made sure I did not eat that much that day. I had actually stopped drinking water at around like 11. I had a feeling it was coming. I'm also a doctor, so I'm used to being on my feet for...
If that word would have been said off feeds and no one said anything, he would have stayed. I think that's a fair thing to say based on previous Big Brother, like the history, but he was saying so much shit that first week. I think they would have gotten rid of him because they're like, eventually it's gonna happen, and let's just cut this week 1. I believe that. But I don't know.
long hours. And so I was like, no, I would kill this.
I don't doubt it either. Heisem, you broke a little bit of a record. Nobody has ever won 3 competitions in the first 2 weeks of the game in the history of the show. It's never happened before. Did you think you were going to be like such a comp beast coming in?
I knew I would be really competitive. I like to win. I wanted to win the game, not just the first 2 weeks. So I made a bit of a miscalculation there. But, I really did sort of set myself up. I'm old.
Yeah, they cut into him saying the word. Like, someone got fired that day.
Sure, I'm 45, so I was a little concerned
Surely.
that younger people would feel like I was not competition. I wanted to show people that I was a worthy teammate.
Bro, that's crazy. He's like, I'm 45. People would not think I'm competition. Bro is shredded. Holy shit. I was watching him in one of these episodes. He was like, after he was a have-not, he is the most sculpted person I've ever seen. Even more than Matt. Like, crazy. Thanks, Night Cheese. Gifting Psycalc, our regular, a sub. Appreciate it. He was on the bike for hours. 2 hours at a time. Insane.
But I won a bit too much, obviously. It scared people. And I knew I had to slow down. I just didn't get a chance to.
Okay, Tyson, so you went through such a journey in your time in the game, and you had so many different conversations with people and came to an understanding as to why that your alliance wanted to get rid of you. But now that you've been out of the house and have been able to absorb more of the information, how has your thinking about how everything went down evolved?
He's a star in the episode.
Well, people are still, their apology. I made mistakes. I hurt their feelings. So those apologies are very real. I hope that when they have an opportunity to look at it, that we will have a better discussion about sort of the incidents that happened, right? I'm a fiercely loyal person. I treat people like family.
I do
when
think
I call
Heisen
them
would
family, I mean that we will check each other, right? And that we will have adult conversations about the things that bother us. And my hope is that it's a game, right? People are playing a game, and I'm fiercely competitive and a strong player. And I think some of that factors into some people's calculations and sort of what happens next for me, right? So yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that at least Izzy had mentioned in terms of targeting you was that you had talked a lot about like honor and integrity and being like that being a core part of you and how you played the game. And she was concerned that if you were on the jury, you might not be like a vote for somebody that was playing maybe a little bit less than honorable and in having that integrity.
Yeah,
is that
she's
something
right.
that you?
She's
yeah.
right. I want the winner to be deserving of the money, right? And the truth of the matter is that I'm going to choose the best person that represents the things that I care about, more so than how they play the game, right? Because I think we frequently see people who may not have the best moral compass really succeed, and this may have been a platform to demonstrate something differently.
For all of us that are watching on the outside, is there anything that you could tell us that maybe that we're not quite understanding about how the house is operating this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the house is really complicated. And one of the things that people underestimate is really how many relationships are happening and forming. It's not really just two sides of the house.
Well, here's what I'll say. Like, Izzy's not in the episodes, but she is in the episodes. She's like not in the DRs though. They give all of her DRs to Suri, and she just has some goofy stuff. But like, they showed her conversation with Riley, which is insane. They show her forming the professors. They show her conversations with Suri. Like, she is shown in a lot of conversations and scenes. She's just not necessarily like the narrator, you know?
There's lots of smaller groups that are working together, and it's constantly in flux, right? So there's constantly people working together and not working together.
Mm-hmm.
The mistake that I made is I was like, well, I'm with my original 6. I'm sticking with my original 6. There's no need to basically work with anyone else. Every conversation.
Okay, I don't think they were super anti-Izzy. I think they were pro-Suri, and they were always just choosing Suri to be the narrator instead of Izzy, because they were in the same spot all the time. So I think that's the truth of it. Like, they just chose Suri.
Conversation here outside of that was really designed to basically keep us safe, right, and to prevent us from going on the block together. But I was loyal to the end.
You started the game with a very interesting relationship with Cory, and the conversations between the two of you were very funny to watch because you gave him nothing. Now, ultimately, Cory, probably one of the bigger reasons why the vote never did manage to flip back to keep you. How are you feeling about Cory now?
Well, I mean, Cory's smart enough to recognize how big of a threat I was, right? So, Cory's playing the game. You don't always get along best with everybody. Cory and I have sort of this push-pull relationship, I would say. There were times that I felt really good about Cory, and there were times I felt really not good about Cory. And I would say that he would feel the same about me. Intellectually, we got along very well. Game.
I'll tell you what, I never felt good about Heisem. I think I got Heisem to a spot where he wasn't targeting me, but like he was targeting me soon. I think I disarmed him a little bit, and we were having normal conversations by the end. And then when we were talking about stuff outside of the game, like I credit a lot of my relationship with Heisem to lockdowns, because there you can't talk about games. We're just talking about life, and I was talking about different speech topics because he did speech, and I was talking about medical malpractice and all these things. And I think he started to see me as like a much more layered person than what he perceived me as before. But yeah, I mean, what he says in some other interviews I saw, it's like he was like, well, Cory was hiding an 8-person alliance from me. I knew he was in it, and he wouldn't tell me. And it's like, yeah, but so was everyone else in the alliance, and it's not like he was treating Jared or Matt or Jag or Cody Worthington. Yeah, it's a classic.
Wise, I think that we saw things differently, and I'll be curious to see what Cory has to say when he's out.
After you found out that Jared is Cerie's son, have you just been replaying a ton of conversations over and over again in your head about how things that affected things in that game?
Yeah, I mean, of course I'm rethinking things.
Well, yeah, so his perception was that I was super close to Cam, and I kept saying to Heisem how close I was to Jared, but he didn't see that Jared was close to anyone else. So he saw me and Jared as like there's like the family style people, which is like, Matt, Jag, and Blue. And then there's the other side, the outsiders, me and Cameron and Jared, which is a weird way of saying it. Orange Juice, Prime sub, first time sub. It's been a minute since we had one of those. What's up? How are you? Appreciate it.
I have a conversation with Cerie about Jared, and I'm not wrong about it, right? I definitely say you should watch Jared because he is slowly moving to the other side. And it's really clear that he's developing closer relationships with that side, and you might want to be paying attention to that. Right now, I didn't know that was in the context of them being, mom and son, but I wasn't wrong. Right.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is as we've seen in the last 48 hours, like Jared has revealed the secret. And so I was right to be worried about him. Right. And she should have been listening to me as opposed to trying to evict me, because here's the truth. Like, if
I never had a conversation, so when I spoke to Heisem recently, it was like this, but in the house, I never had a conversation where his demeanor was like this. Like, I didn't see this side of him till after the game.
I was loyal to her. I wouldn't have cared about that.
Right? Have you seen the discussions around some of like the like you saying right and the truth of the matter is at all?
Yeah, those are my catchphrases, like and right?
Get the merch, Heisem. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heisem, I know you got to run. So this was so nice to get to catch up with you a little bit. We would love to talk with you more about.
All right, let's move on to red. I think this is the most honk shoe. All right, it's 4 minutes.
When you have rheumatoid arthritis.
4 minutes, very lucky. Yeah, Heisem's his death note. It's pretty funny.
What's going on? Rob and Taryn from RHAP. Red,
there's something wrong about him being in this kind of room. Like, why is he in a closet?
I know you've been out of the house for a couple of days. Have you had any chance to watch anything that has shown you anything new since you've been out of the house?
No, not really. Where I'm from, I'm so deep in the holler, you got to pop in sunshine, let alone internet service, brother. So it's hard to keep up with that kind of thing. I am getting whispers through little bits of social media here and there about some things going on, but I definitely need to catch up on.
Does he do all his exit interviews in his like character voice?
Yesterday's episode and all that. I'll be doing that a little bit later on today for sure.
Now that you've had time to sort of think about what happened that last week, what are your thoughts on like Cameron and your relationship with him and Cerie and everything that happened?
Well, ultimately, Cam is an awesome person, and I was led to do the things I did under false pretenses. And now that I know that Cam really did have my back, that me and him are going to be fine outside of here. What we had in there was a genuine relationship. It truly was. Outside of the game, I think it will be as well. So I'm hoping he goes all the way to the end. But whenever he comes out,
look, I think you guys know my opinions on Cam, but I am happy that Cam and Red are happy together. It wouldn't feel right if the Chillers were at odds. You know what I mean? Man is a true chiller. That's right. Cory was 7.
There'll definitely be a cold beer in mine and his future for sure.
Red, I'd love to hear a little bit about what you think about Cameron's HOH and the nomination
Where's their fan fiction? I actually handwrote it.
that he made. Did you and he ever talk about something like this when you were in the house?
Absolutely, we talked about it, but we were under the assumption that we were part of a majority, and my inclination was to stay with the majority. So when he had talked about putting up Izzy, who was definitely not our biggest fan, I kind of leaned him and steered him against it at the time that he did. Now, looking back, it was something that maybe we should have went ahead and done, because she's definitely a problem for both of us moving forward, but also all three of them are. And I think we started to realize that toward the end. But
this is a very coherent interview. He's answering the questions directly. He's right for the most part.
by the time I realized it, it was already too late.
Given what you know now about Sari, do you think that if you had made it onto the jury, do you think that you would have voted for her to win?
That's a tough one. Sari is playing a solid game, and because she's been trained to do so. She's been on several other reality shows where manipulation is key to your
I remember Red was the biggest Suri and Jared is bullshit. This is not fair proponent, right?
advancement, and I think that's why she's doing so well right now. Now, based on strict gameplay, I think she would probably get my vote to win. I don't think anybody wants to be sitting next to Sari. But on a personal level, my vote will go to Cam for sure if he's ended up in that seat as well. So,
Red, why did you feel like that the House ultimately decided to get rid of you?
I think we simulate Big Brother a billion times. A billion, right? I don't think Cam and Suri end up in the final two once. I truly mean a billion.
After they had told you that you were going to be safe.
I think ultimately it was my conversation with Jared that done me in. When they realized that I was going to go to Cam eventually, because my word had limitations. It only lasted
He's
so
right.
long, and I told him that I would be
This
going to
dude did
Cam
his homework.
right after that HOH. I think he probably
Let's go, Red.
voiced that concern to people that mattered, and that's what ultimately flipped the vote on me.
Have you had any time to reflect on why some people in the House and outside of the House had an issue with some of the comments you made about America?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to, figure out exactly what they're saying. Like, all of my observations of America were gameplay based. None of it was personal. It was just on the way that I was watching her play, and they were shared opinions by other people in the House too. I definitely don't have anything personal against her or, any woman for that matter.
I don't have any negative opinions about any woman at all.
So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where a lot of that's coming from.
All right. Taryn, you have anything else for Red?
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Red, thanks for making some time to chat with us today, okay?
No problem. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's always a weird argument of like, hey, you said some weird comments. What is your response? They're like, yes, but other people are saying them too. It's like, well, that's not like better. Red is a real feminist, though. I've never had a problem with any woman ever. That's based. Thank you, Chiara. For the gift. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Smooches. Taryn said, yeah. Alright, Izzy time. Izzy time. These are the ones I really care about. It's like Izzy, Jared, and Mimi. These are the ones I want to see.
Believe in yourself.
You're here with Rob and Taryn from RHAP.
So, I know she did some exit interviews in the hotel, so those were immediately after. I guess this is like a weekend.
Very sad to see you out of the game, but happy to have the chance to speak with you. I know that you've had a chance to catch up a little bit on what's going on. What's been some big surprises for you since you've been able to get up to speed on what we've seen outside the house?
I would say the unraveling is maybe the biggest shocker. Things seem to be moving at like a domino effect since my eviction, and that's surprising, a little bit surprising to me. I also am a little disappointed in Felicia and Mimi being so critical of Sari and Jared. I believe that Sari, Felicia, and Mimi understood the dynamics of our foursome, and Mimi was always with Felicia, and I was always with Sari.
Yeah, I don't know why they're disappointed in Felicia. Like, they were gonna blindside both. They were gonna blindside Mimi, but like they were gonna vote her out. Like, I feel like you lose the moral high ground when you're voting someone out, right? I don't know.
And that was understood, but that doesn't mean that there was not genuine working together in that relationship. And so I'm a little disappointed by that.
Do you have any more thoughts on like how Jared has been playing the game now that you've had a chance to sort of catch up on some of the things you weren't aware of?
You know, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about Jared. Mine and Jared's relationship was what it was, and he was extremely kind to me. Yes, I know about him trying to get him and Suri to vote me out, and I've seen the fight, and I don't agree with everything, but this game is emotionally taxing, and it can be hard to figure out what to do at any given time, and I'm trying not to blame him.
Yeah.
I'm trying hard.
I almost think Taryn was asking her more about the Jared like strategic blunders, not the other stuff.
So
Okay, it's family business. Yeah. So, Izzy, could you tell us, how do you feel like that Jared and Suri have been doing to sort of like pivot to this new kind of game with you out of the house?
I'm not sure it's working. I know Suri's working on Matt, and I know Matt really wants to trust Suri and work with Suri. I'm worried that she will self-sabotage in order to set Jared up in some way. I don't know if that's currently being successful or not, but I think they're in an incredibly precarious place.
This never would have happened. Like, people talk about this, like how Suri would have laid her game on the line to save Jared. We would have voted out Jared against Suri's will. Like, it wouldn't... Like, me, America, Matt, Jag were dead set on Jared leaving. Bowie might have been a little bit more sympathetic and been like, okay, well, let's get out, but she would have came with us. Like, Suri would not have been able to, like, get evicted over Jared.
Was there any scenario where you think you might have...
Did you see when Suri asked Jared to backdoor her? That seemed like she just wanted to go home before jury, to me, right? That was the way I interpreted it, but...
told people the secret, like if you were on the block against Jared or something and it was clear that you were going home, did you ever see yourself saying it?
I don't know how that would have helped me. I mean, especially if I was on the block next to Jared and Suri is staying in the house and I'm throwing them under the bus and getting her son evicted actively. I don't know how more dynamic our duo would have gotten after that. I believe in keeping information for the right time.
She wanted to go home after Izzy left. I don't think it was just Izzy leaving. Like, I think she was okay with Izzy leaving if she was still in a good spot. Like, the game kind of ended for Suri that day, and she fought really hard to fix it and salvage it and make something work. But I think she kind of saw it for what it was and knew she was in a lot of trouble. So,
at the end, that was what was making our trio powerful. And
I don't want to be weird, but there's a naked woman in the closet. Why is she closing the door?
Yeah, I don't think there would have been a scenario like that I can think of.
You told Cameron on the way out the house that you would be seeing him soon too, Pig. Do you feel like, did you put something into the universe?
I mean, listen, I've been working on it. Listen, every eviction was a means to the next eviction. You know, Riley's eviction was important because Heisen was going to feel comfortable and we were going to have a better shot at backdooring him. You know, everything was several moves down the line. So my eviction, I think, was just like the super catalyst to make that happen. And I'm excited to see what happens at the ceremony today and what the final nominees are. So
this is the day of the veto meeting, so this is Monday. All right, so she's been out for a while, like 5 days.
I think we're already missing your energy in the house. It's like, I mean, you made my job a lot harder having to stay on top of everything.
I heard you had to take a break at some point. I'm sorry. I was laughing the other night with my girlfriend that like, wow, I mean, it was funny because me and Suri would be sitting down sometimes being like, oh man, like I'm so bored. Like, should we do something? Are we supposed to be doing something right now? I feel like I'm not doing enough. Clearly that was the wrong thing, but.
I just wish there was a way for me to have kept Izzy in the house. It's such a shame that Cam fucked those noms. Could have been so good for the season. If he just did, like, Felicia and Suri or something, you know? You could have. I know I could have kept her in the house, but the power structure would have remained.
Anyway, yeah, I miss it a lot.
Is there anything else that you've discovered in sort of like getting up to speed that has been a surprise to you?
Not really. In some ways, a lot of my reads have been confirmed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any ill will against Cory. I will say that I don't have any ill will against Cory, and that feels important for me, and hopefully for our relationship outside of the house.
Well, listen, Izzy, if you're ever in San Diego and you want to go rock climbing, I'm your guy.
I would love to. I really would love to. So
Going great. Okay.
Yeah, I know she was she came in pretty hot in the earlier exit interviews about me. Which I understand. Like, here's the thing that sucked about the Izzy thing. I knew she would be upset. Not because she's bitter, but because she's, like, passionate about Big Brother. I was about to let a Jaredism come out. But, like, she is reactive. You know? So, you know, I knew she'd be upset, and she obviously was. But she's also, like, a game player. And, I knew she'd be okay with it. That was the one thing I was most worried about, leaving the house. I didn't want Mimi to hate me either, but I cared more about Izzy. She said you would rally votes against Suri in Final 2. Yes, saw that. That's insane. Look, the only world where I bitter voted against Suri would be if, like, the Jared secret came out, maybe. I'd be pissed. But even then, like, if Jared was evicted that early and Suri gets to the end, like, I don't think it would matter that much. And, like, you know, when it comes down to, like, you're evicting someone and there's the thought of, like, you're crushing their dreams, I didn't feel that way for anybody except Izzy. Like, it was the only time I felt guilty about an eviction. Like, I felt a little guilty about Mimi, but, like, even then, I was like, damn, this is kind of on you. I felt a little guilty about Izzy.
Hey, Jared, what's going on? It's Robin Taryn for RHAP. Jared, okay.
Invite her on the Pound Town pod. If she's, like, in town for a while, maybe. But she's working, you know?
Hey, we saw you ultimately had your time in the Big Brother house, had 2 evictions, basically. Now that you've been out, what's been some things that have been interesting for you to learn that you're outside the house?
Just a lot about my game and seeing the way I played the game and thinking that, you know, certain moves in the time felt like the right move to make, and seeing in hindsight, like, it really wasn't good. And there was possibilities for me to be able to stay in the house with just a slightly few adjustments to my game. So I think that's one of the most interesting things as far.
I think Jared's main problem is he views a lot of his mistakes as, like, targeting Cameron that second time. It's like, no, the mistake was everything before that. Like, everything after the Izzy flip, it was kind of over. Like, he could have maybe stayed a bit longer, but it was all before that was the issue.
As far as gameplay wise, and then also just to see, you know, the fallout from just being a part of this game, being a part of this community, and just seeing how everybody perceives you and whatnot.
Were there any moves in particular that you're thinking of that you like wish that you had maybe done a little differently?
Yeah, I think one of the main things that I keep reflecting on day to day right now is just Renam and Cam. I felt like if I would have just broke up the Americory saga right there, essentially America would have been the one going home. And I would have probably been able to extend my shelf life in that game. But unfortunately, Cam was my target. He just mentioned my mom one too many times. He recently just voted out my closest ally, being Izzy. So I felt
targeting Cam wasn't even that bad. Like, it wasn't that bad.
Personal vengeance against Cam.
Like, he had like 7 people he had to evict that week. And he got one of them. Like,
and which ultimately ended up working to my demise.
Jared, do you have any thoughts on Cam's HOH for this time around?
So I've tried my best to kind of stay away from watching as much right now, just because it's still so fresh, just being outside of the house. But hey, I'm super excited that he's got it. I told Cam right before I left plenty of times on many different occasions, like, hey,
he should have got Jag or Matt. Yeah, but like he needs. I think honestly, him like banking on having Matt and Jag might have been the better play. Just going all in on them, but like it never would have happened because the way the him and Matt thing shook out. Actually, I guess his plan should have been, I guess, link up with Cameron and then try to roll with the Brown Sugar Babes plus Cameron, I guess. But, like, you think Cameron's down for that? Like, I don't know.
Just please protect Suri by any means necessary. I couldn't tell him why, but I think he has a deep understanding for my feelings for Suri. And him winning HOH, I believe, guarantees her another week in the house.
You evict him next week, and Cameron probably wouldn't have done that. I think he would have.
You've sort of like learned about how people are like perceiving you from the game. How are you feeling about all that?
You know, it's time for me to just reflect on who I am as a person, who I was in the house.
No, him still wanting America gone after he blew up at him is crazy. No, it's because I was off the block because Jack took me off. So I guess he put up like Bowie try to get rid of America. I think that's what he means.
At the end of the
At
day,
that point, I think he'd prefer me to go before America.
first things first, I wanted to come out and just apologize to America personally and to Matt, and not only those two, but the whole disabled community as a whole. People were offended by things that I said, and rightfully so. I can't do anything but take accountability for it and understand that at the end of the day, I am human. I'm no better than any other person, but
this interview after his PR training, like, it's kind of hard. Like, when you're apologizing, you're either doing a shitty apology or it's PR. Like, apologizing's good. You know, I think it's like, is there anything he could have said that y'all would have been okay with? Like, you know, I think this is fine. I don't have a problem with this. I think he's doing a good job here.
I made a mistake, and I got to own up to it, and I got to just continue to better
Does it, like, matter? Like, it's up to you. Like,
myself on a day-to-day basis. I feel like people want me to just kind of crawl into this hole and just crawl over and just accept everything that's been coming my way, and I have been accepting it to an extent, but like I said, I want to get out in front of it and just, like I said, take accountability for it.
Jared, have you gotten to connect with Izzy, your sister, since you've been out of the house?
My sister. Yeah, I have, actually. I've been talking to Izzy a couple times, a couple different occasions. I actually may probably be going to see her.
Dr. Shrimp. Another first-time Prime sub. All right, Dr. Shrimp, do you have a pitcher of blood next to you? Pour yourself a glass. This is the ritual we have for new subs. Doctor? You there? Yes, what the fuck? All right. Let me know when you're done.
Any interesting interactions with Izzy? Does she have anything to say?
Unless you're AB positive. We don't fuck with AB positive, okay? If you're AB positive, get the fuck out. The door is there.
Say to you?
Me and Izzy, I got to keep the tea for me and Izzy between me and Izzy for now. A lot of people said I had a big mouth, so I can't keep talking about that kind of stuff.
He's learning.
I think me and Izzy will probably do our own, maybe a live or something like that and just hash it out for everybody to see. It'll be funny content, and nevertheless, I think people definitely want to see it.
Okay. Jared, do you think that when Sari gets out of the house, do you think that is she going to be mad when she finds out that you had told Blue the secret about the identity, or do you think that it'll just be water under the bridge at that point?
I think when she gets out, she'll probably give me that typical mom twist of the ear, like, "Hey, why would you even do that?" But I think in hindsight, when she sees how I felt, that I thought at the time that it was a good move for our game.
This is the craziest turn of events, I think, in all of Big Brother 25. This was a good move. It shouldn't have been, but it was huge for them. It was this was a great move. It shouldn't have worked out. It should have been a fucking disaster. It should have ended their game. But this was great for them. like Blue, every time she wanted to turn against Jared, was like, yeah, but he told me his secret. He trusts me so much. Jared's insane for doing it, but it was results oriented. It was correct.
I think she'll understand, because at the end of the day, she wanted me to play my own game, make my own moves, even if some of those moves wasn't something that she would necessarily agree with.
We saw that one of the biggest points of contention between you and Cory the week that Izzy was on the block is that one, you told him that you would put America up on the block, and two, you told Cam that he had a secret, and obviously that got back to him. What was the thought process behind those decisions?
So at the moment I was working with Cam, we were starting to kind of realize that we had a potential future together, even after me not using the veto to bring Felicia down and ultimately put up.
So I did on the Patreon today, patreon.com/Americory. I did a strategy corner where I ranked all the weeks. And I was talking about week 5. I think that's Jared's best week, because he's really messy, obviously. But the whole, pretending like he's on the outs and getting Cam to basically be his #1 ally right before Cam HOH is kind of fucking crazy. And then week 6 is probably the worst week of gameplay in Big Brother history. But, look, it only works because it's Cam. But that shit was crazy.
My mom, me and Cam saw that it was a possible future, so I was kind of letting Cam in on some information that I could trust him with. And at the time, I really just had a bad feeling about Cory. Not that I can foresee him, trying to explode my game by any matter, but I did just really have this taste in my mouth at the time for Cory's game towards myself, and just felt as if I wasn't able to trust Cory, which ultimately proved out to be true.
Okay, Jared, I know you.
He's right. He just has the order wrong. He's the one who fucked the relationship. But Yeah, I mean, he was. Look, I think it was Jared and Suri always should have targeted me at some point because I think whether I like bought into the Crossroads 100%, which I did at some points, or totally against it at other points, I was probably one of the more dangerous players to Suri the entire game, just in terms of like my knowledge and capabilities and whatever. But obviously he just antagonized me, so it became kind of easy. All right, last one. We're not going to do the jury ones.
What keeps
You and Jared as a duo? I really liked it. When it was working, I really enjoyed it. It just, it was short-lived. Because for me, I was his number 1. I was probably his number 3 at best, and then probably when Blue was there, I became his number 4, and then I kept falling because Matt, number 5. And it was very obvious to me, that dynamic.
It's Robin Tarrant for RHAP. How are you doing?
You would have stayed loyal to Jared if he didn't go around saying shit about you? No. I mean, you guys saw, like, my camera talks week 1, 2, 3, where I'm like, all right, Jared's a great ally, and I'm going to stick with him for a long time, but I'm definitely cutting him later in the game. Because I thought he was too good at that point.
This morning.
I'm doing okay. How are you guys?
Doing great. Nice to talk to you.
Do you know of the Meridian review? Yeah, I'm a big fan. I know a lot of people don't like his takes. I love anyone that is that nerdy and dedicated to reality TV. I've watched a tremendous amount of his videos. I enjoy it.
Love to hear from you, Mimi, some of the things that now that you've been back out into the world, have you learned anything that's a surprise to you since you've gotten out of sequester?
I mean, obviously, I am shook by the fact that Suri is Jared's mom. Like, I'm like shaking every time I say that because it's just so insane. And just watching and looking back at their dynamic throughout the season, it really has me shook. And to know that Jag and Matt were planning my demise in this game is also a little interesting. But yeah, everything else not so much of a surprise.
Mimi's like, I'm shocked that Cory wasn't the one masterminding my demise. The one thing that surprises me, Cory's not the villain.
Yeah, have you?
What surprised me, that Cam is the hero of the season.
Have you seen now? Because basically how Jag and Matt wanted it to look was that like Cory was the one who was spearheading it, but you've seen now that it was kind of at least also them, if not mostly them.
I think that it was a combined effort. I think they both, both sets of groups kind of had the idea and were just waiting for another to put it on the table. But once they kind of, was brought up in conversation, they realized that these were the 4 votes that we need to get this done. I think it was like, okay, we may as well take this shot now.
Can you talk a little bit about, you had this very fiery exit from the house and you called out Cory in America and how they're...
I saw a really funny tweet. It was Mimi talking about Caitlin Clark, very critical of her, which, it's whatever. I actually agree, but it's fine. And then someone responded like, yeah, Mimi, you never even played the fucking game. And then she responds like, you idiot bitch, stupid bitch. I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
They were working with Bowie Jane. Was that something that you just threw out there?
It was to an extent. I had a conversation with America,
Damn,
I think a day or so before, and I was talking about working with her and Cory moving forward. And she just kind of mentioned such that, the relationship that they'd had with Bowie Jane and something that they were working on. And obviously I didn't think it was that serious, but I was like, well, let me throw Mama Fee a bone here. Let's see how this could possibly help her moving forward. Because I know that their strategy is to kind of utilize everyone around them to do their dirty work. And I didn't want Mama Fee to get caught up in that. And then, I was
cussed out Spoiler Girl too, yeah.
Thank you for giving us some stuff on the way out. Always fun when that happens. It seemed like your intentional strategy coming into the game was to lie low and to really like not give anybody anything to work with, and like you really used like the storage room as like your outlet, so that you didn't give that to like the other house guests. Where did that strategy come from?
Going into the house originally, I was like, I'm not going to lay low. I'm going to play a hardcore game. And then I saw what happened to Kirsten. I saw what happened to Riley. I saw what happened to Heisman. And I was like, okay, maybe I should not lean into this that much.
I think Mimi, like, strategically, obviously, she was just not active enough. But, like, socially, it was kind of tough, too, because she'd be, I guess this is kind of socially and strategically, she'd be so cagey with information that, like, you'd be hanging out with her and it would just be kind of uncomfortable at times. Because with other people, like, you would flow in between personal conversation and strategy and just go back and forth. With her, it was like I had to schedule strategic conversations, and the social, like, it would never get strategic at any point. And she'd always just wear her sunglasses. Like, it was just so hard.
And, it was working out for me. Obviously I wish that more of, how strategic and methodical I was in my gameplay could have been showed. And I think you got a little bit of that from my storage room rants. And I think one of my biggest regrets of the season is obviously not being more forceful and assertive with those opinions very early on with folks that I were working with in alliances.
Mimi, the other house guests can't hear you now. Do you have any Mimi storage room rant for anybody that's still in the game?
I have no more storage room rants. When you're in there, it literally is a mind warp, and you're just like, okay, how do I keep all of this together? Obviously, I wish everyone the best of luck. They were a little annoying while I was there, but I love all of them down to pieces, and y'all know who I'm rooting for. So let's see how it turns out.
Have you heard about how you got zinged?
I did.
Yeah.
Listen, it's iconic. Like, I'm not mad.
You don't have a rant for the Zingbot?
Listen, I'll be back on Big Brother Twitter. I'll have something to say to Zingbot then. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Have you seen where some of your old tweets are being like retweeted for the current day situations on Big Brother?
Yes, all very applicable. I mean, listen, she's a prophet. What can I say? I foresaw these things 13 years ago. Like, I love that girl. She's fabulous. I want to be her.
If you could change maybe like one major thing about how you played the game, what is like the thing that you'd go back and change?
I would go back to the week of the Izzy and Felicia, being on the block and just kind of how all of that transpired. I was really trying to stay true to Brown Sugar Babes. And once I realized that they as in, Jared and Mr. Reed, they also weren't holding true to it. I think I just failed to pivot in the way that I needed to. I did start to work with the Jags, Mats, Cory, America, Bowie, etc. after, we'd flipped the vote to get Izzy out of the house. But that was just not something that stuck in the way that I really needed.
Yeah, I mean, the bummer with Mimi is she was just gifted such a good position from that week. She just didn't want it. Like I think from that, and like, look, Mimi did get incredibly unlucky, and I think people are very critical of Mimi's game, and I think that's fair, but like, if Cam doesn't come back, there's no way she gets evicted by like anybody for a while. Like, maybe like a Matt or Jag HOH would have been kind of dangerous, but like, they would have targeted Cam first, and she wouldn't have been in great shape, but, like, she wouldn't have been gone. Like, she got really... Like, Cam 1 came back. Even then, he almost didn't target her.
Two, I wish that I would have been more forceful in creating some outside relationships, and I think that's kind of where it led to my demise, unfortunately.
Mimi, is there anything else about your experience that you want to make sure the fans know about?
Cam and you would have gone before her. I think Cam would have. I still think, like, if Jag was HOH, I would have been fine. If Matt or Blue, then maybe I go before Mimi.
I want the fans to know that not only did I have a fabulous time, but I actually did
Jag
go
would
in
still
playing
care to
this
Mimi
game.
first.
Obviously, not a lot of, how I played the game and what was happening in terms of my storyline in the game were shown. And, so that's unfortunate. But I don't want you guys to think for a second that I intentionally left my husband a month after my wedding to go sit in the house and do my hair all day. It was only one day a week, by the way. But I did have a fabulous time, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed it this season.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mimi, I know you got to run and you got a lot of interviews to do. So thank you for making some time. And
Okay, there you have it. Everyone basically, I'm kind of impressed. They all kind of had a good sense of what happened in the game. I think except for like maybe Riley and Heisem, but Red knew what was going on, and so did Izzy and Jared and Mimi. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Very short stream today, just a little bit under 2 hours. I'm going to upload the episode recaps in the next hour. So, I know you guys are kind of excited for that. It's episode 4 through 6. We're going to watch more episodes tonight. Those should be up tomorrow. Strategy Corner is up on the Patreon. So, here's the deal. It's Thursday. We're streaming Sunday. Sunday is going to be the Outlaster VIP game. Friday or Saturday, I'm going to stream one of the 2 days. I don't know which, but I'm going to stream one of the 2 days. Okay? So that's, well, you'll see. Well, we'll see. That's about it. Thank you all. Good stream today. I really enjoyed it. Very chill. Like, and I do get to a certain extent, like, Cory, enough talking about BB fucking 25. I enjoy it. Like, there's not that much more to talk about, but I enjoy it. One stream I wanted to do is watching the why Cory lost BB 25. I thought it would be fun. Because the second BB 26 starts, we'll be all talking BB 26. It was a main quest. That is true. Yeah. I think the watching why I lost would be interesting. And just see where I agree and disagree. But thank you all. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Dr. Shrimp, Orange Juice, the new subs. Hope to see you guys around. I'll rate someone. We got some viewers. You wanna rate someone? Anyone live? None of the homies live? This is so sad. Carla's live? Raid Will Neff. Will Neff is a big enough streamer. He doesn't need me. All right, Carla. Send some love.